Hey guys, Dev with Crime Hive, back with the Vanessa Guillen story, and we've got some new updates to share. Really tragic ending that I think a lot of us know about at this point, that her remains were potentially discovered, still waiting for the official confirmation, but we have some new gruesome details about how Vanessa was killed, and that's what we're going to get in today. We're going to talk about that, kind of what led up to that point. And if you want to get caught up, I've got some other videos on this. You can go onto my channel and watch those. But we're going to really dig into more of what led to her death and talk about some of those details. Again, if you like some of these videos that I'm posting, subscribe to my channel at Crime Hive and just hit that bell notification as I come out with more updates on doing a lot of different cases right now. And as I get updates, I will continue to post these videos. So let's get into this story and these updates here. Vanessa Guillen right here. She was a soldier in the Army, Fort Hood. She had recently talked about with her family these sexual harassment claims, and we're gonna discuss how that kind of leads into what I'm going to talk about here, because we have learned that there are suspects involved now that Army investigators, police have identified, and we're looking right here. If you guys haven't seen what they look like, this is Cecily Aguilar, okay? And I'll explain who she is, and then this is Aaron Robinson. He's a specialist. He was a specialist he was at Fort Hood. So I'll kind of get into a little bit of what happened here with these two. So you've got Aaron Robinson, who was on base, was not in Vanessa's chain of command. So he actually didn't work in the armory. To my knowledge, he was somewhere else. However, we did learn that Vanessa apparently may have been sexually harassed by Aaron as well. So she apparently was going to file a complaint against Aaron. And what happened was Aaron became enraged, okay? And hearing this news, I believe that the day after, this would have been yesterday, Vanessa would have come forward with this complaint, which would have been Wednesday, July 1st. She would have come forward with this complaint. So apparently this enrages Aaron. And I'm going to talk about what happened. Some of it may not be what you guys would like to hear. I'm going to go over some details in the case here. Aaron apparently had a hammer at the time, and this was in the armory room. So from what I understand, the armory room where Vanessa worked, and also where those missing items were found, such as her barracks key, her ID, her wallet, those items were found where she was working. And apparently this is where she was killed initially. Aaron had a hammer. He was enraged. He bludgeoned Vanessa to death, from what I understand. This is coming from the attorney for the Guillen family as well. So there's a lot of different reports, and I'll kind of refer to those here in my notes to get you guys this information as it comes in. Blood is splattering all over the place, and so there's definitely a crime scene cleanup going on here. He had to have cleaned this up. However, investigators did find some blood, and of course we don't know about this kind of information because they have to keep it secretive. They can't give all the details in this case. If investigators would have mentioned something like that, maybe Aaron Robinson goes back to the armory room and cleans it up more thoroughly. But as he's following the case in the news, like a lot of suspects will do, and so apparently though he had missed a couple spots, or a spot of blood that investigators found in the armory room. Now, once she was killed, Aaron then transported Vanessa's body off base, and this is off the Fort Hood base. And what happens from there is this is where Cecily comes into play. Now, it's kind of interesting. Cecily, apparently from what I understand as well, was currently married, or is currently married to somebody else, and yet is the girlfriend of Aaron Robinson. So Aaron enlists the help of Cecily to help dispose of the body. Now, I've read a couple different reports on this, and I'd like to hear what you guys have learned as well. You guys can always comment below. I like to read those comments, like to get the updates. Planning on doing a blog later as well to be able to put this information from you guys into the blog as well to give you guys more information. So one of the things that I learned from one of the other reports, and matter of fact, and I could probably just go to it here, is right here. I was telling about the harassment claim where Robinson became enraged, right? And then, and I want to talk about where Cecily gets involved in this here. So right here, this is where let's see, not right here. So what I'll do, okay, so this is where, I want to go back to the armory room here. So the girlfriend, again, is involved here. Okay, so here's where it gets interesting here. So apparently, they tried to burn Vanessa's body, and they were unsuccessful. Apparently, so right here that I'm reading here, this is where we learn what happened after Vanessa was bludgeoned. So they tried to burn her body, right? And apparently her body wouldn't burn. They couldn't figure out how to burn her body. And so what they did next is they dismembered her body with a machete. Now, she's helping. Cecily's helping Aaron through this process, and that's why you're seeing this mugshot, because investigators did arrest Cecily for this aspect of helping, assisting Aaron in covering up this crime. Just literally mutilating and dismembering Vanessa's body with that machete, and then they couldn't burn it, so they end up then dumping the pieces of her body where it was found, where we did learn it was found, near the Leon River, not far off the freeway, and that's how we learned of that case. So I want to make sure I'm getting all the information that was dealing with her death right there. So pretty crazy. That's the blood being splashed over the armory room. So these are coming from various reports. Now, what happens after that was you've got Aaron back on base. He's apparently at his post, which could, I'm not sure exactly what he was doing, but when somebody says they're at their post, I mean, he could have been doing some sort of fire watch duty, watching over weapons. So he was supposed to be at a specific place doing some sort of security. They often in the military, somebody will be doing security and then they enlist another soldier to take their place, and it's an ongoing process. There's 24-hour watches. It could be in a weapon armory room, could be watching over other equipment, things like that. But apparently he leaves his post, and the Army puts out a be on the lookout bulletin for him because he leaves and he goes off base. Now, this was on Tuesday, so this would have been just a couple days ago, June 30th, 2020. And then we know that police later caught up with Aaron. And this is where it was, and I kind of just pulled up the map. It was apparently at 4700 East Rainseer Avenue, if I'm saying that right. This is kind of the general layout of the area of that block that was mentioned in the report. So he's apparently walking around somewhere out there, and investigators catch up to him. He brandishes a weapon after this, and so he's displaying a weapon and shoots himself in the head, from what I understand, and kills himself. So he's committed suicide, and this was just shortly after Vanessa's body was found on a Tuesday. He fled that day. Early the next morning on Wednesday, that's when this confrontation occurred with investigators and Aaron, and then Aaron kills himself. Then they end up arresting Cecily, who she's the one that gave the information about the hammer, where Aaron had confronted or had told her that the hammer was used to bludgeon Vanessa's body. So this is kind of what we're gathering from this, and then a couple other things I wanted to mention again about the sexual harassment. This is not the sergeant that was initially that is being investigated. So he's still currently being investigated for this other sexual harassment claim that Vanessa never went to authorities about. So that's a separate one. Now, this man, Aaron Robinson also may have assaulted or harassed Vanessa, and she did not come forward on this quite yet, but she was planning to. So this is, again, somebody else. So there are multiple claims now of sexual harassment that Vanessa must have been going through, and she didn't have anywhere to turn, didn't know where to go to. There's a lot of crazy things going on with this base. I just learned about another death off the base or around the base that I won't mention in this video. I might put that in another video as I put together other strange things that are going on. But what do you guys think of that information so far? And what else do you have to add to this? I think there might be a couple other things that I'm missing here. That's the address. Again, these are photos of Vanessa. Really, really sad case. Again, they've called off the search for her. So even though the confirmation is not complete with Vanessa's body, we do know that that the attorney has alluded to the fact that it is her. She spent over 4 hours, I believe, interviewing and speaking with Army investigators, and they've given a lot of information about this. So that is what I have for this. I wanted to give you guys those updates, but pretty crazy. Still don't know if this is linked to Gregory Morales. I don't want anybody to forget about that case as well. I know a lot of the focus has been on Vanessa, and rightfully so, especially with the sexual harassment claims, that sort of stuff. I don't want to forget about Gregory Morales. What happened to him? We don't know. Is it related to this? Is it something completely different? That's why I think I'm going to come out with another video about some of the other aspects of this case. And then as we learn more about what Cecily is giving up to police, maybe there's more to this. Pretty interesting that she was married and had Aaron as a boyfriend as well. Just a lot of bizarre things going on over there, you guys. What are your thoughts? I want to hear them. And that is it for this video. If you guys have any questions, you guys can reach out to me through. I'm also on Instagram, just so you guys know. Crime Hive Now is the name. If you guys want to, I always post these videos on social media as well. And then eventually, I will figure out the live streaming as I continue to do this. So bear with me on that. I've got a webcam I'm going to be utilizing. I'm going to be trying some other aspects there. So I know a lot of you guys from the poll had expressed that you were interested in hearing some of the live streams and live videos. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. This is Dev with Crime Hive, and I will be back with another episode soon. You guys take care.